Hi. Hey, y'all. How are you doing? I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. It's me, Kim, and I'm back for another video. Hi. How many days until Christmas? Is the 17th? 8 days? Are you ready? I'm not. I'm not. We can talk about it later. I'm a procrastinator. Hey, guys. Yeah. All right. Who I've been saying for weeks that I wanted to come on here really quickly and talk about my Tyler and Ashley feelings. Tyler and Ashley were a couple on Love is Blind season 7, the most recent edition. And I have been so horrified and dismayed by the way that their storyline played out on the show, but also the way that they have subsequently handled the scandal that I felt like I had to come and talk it out and talk it through. Thank you, Kevin. All right. Before we jump into it, I always have to shout out. I'm trying to get people to subscribe to my newsletter because everybody's tired of algorithms. I'm tired of algorithms. And so I hope one day to have to deal with algorithms less. This is it. The most recent podcast is free and open to the public. Some of them are open, some of them are behind the paywall. Really, if it's behind the paywall, it's because I'm saying things that I don't necessarily want to be said in public. The podcast immediately before the most recent one, I touched on the Jackie Ina Super 5 stuff and really quickly, but do I want to be yelling about how dumb this shit is in public? Not really. Not really. But it's dumb. It's dumb as fuck. Anyways, KimberlyNicoleFoster.co. KimberlyNicoleFoster.co, not .com, .co. Okay? All right. We're done there. Let's move into this. This is Ashley and Tyler. They are, unfortunately, officially married. Ashley and Tyler met on season 7 of Love is Blind, the incredibly popular Netflix show that has recently been sued into oblivion because of how it mistreats the cast members. And in fact, I think recently the cast members, I think it was actually a landmark ruling that a judge determined that the cast members of Love is Blind can be unionized, that they are officially employees. There's been lots of talk over the past year or so about the way that reality television exploits the people who appear. There was the quote unquote reality reckoning that was spearheaded by Bethany Frankel, who came to prominence via The Real Housewives of New York. I mean, Bethany, I don't know. I don't always trust Bethany's intentions with that stuff. But there is a real conversation to be had about the way that these people are absolutely mismanaged. And my issue when I was watching season 7 of Love is Blind was how I felt Ashley in particular was mismanaged, that she was set up to fail. She was immediately one of my favorites. She's obviously gorgeous girl, appears to be really, really smart, has her shit together, level headed, poised, well spoken, but she also had a charisma. Literally from the first episode, I said, that is my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. Shout out to Fifth Harmony. Bring back Fifth Harmony. No, actually don't bring them back. Actually don't bring them back. Actually. Um, but I just thought this is my girl. I'm all in. I see myself in Ashley. And I was concerned when I felt like she was starting to fall for Tyler because I was like, Ashley, we can do better. We don't have to do this. He's not even, he's not even. And, you know, we're not trying to talk about people's looks, but he's just not all that. He's not all that. he's fine, but he's not all that. I mean, and by fine, I mean he's okay, not he's fine. But alas, Ashley and Tyler fell in love in the pods, and they went on their way, and they developed intimacy and developed a relationship. And I always had that feeling of like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And then I said, okay, I don't want to get too invested in this. So I am going to, because I started watching the show probably like maybe a week or two after everybody else started watching. So I said, okay, wait a second. I need to prepare myself for what is about to happen. So I decided to look them up on Instagram to see if they had already posted pictures together. And I typed in their names on Instagram, and the first thing that came up was mess. And I was so pissed. I was so pissed off when I saw those first TikTok slash Instagram reels where all of the commentary girls, the Tasha K girls, the Wendy William girls were going through the drama. I was pissed off because Netflix let me down again. But then the season proceeded, and then Ashley let me down. And you know whose take I really liked about this? I really liked Jessie Wu, because it was a clear-headed take, but it was an empathetic take. And I think the right answer is it's a lot of Ashley's judging Ashley. And it's like, yeah, I think a lot of us have been deeply, ridiculously delusional. We have explained things away. We have told half truths to our families so that they don't judge the messy stuff that the man that we're dating is doing. We have been there. But then Ashley started to double and triple down and lash out. And that's when I decided I was going to have to get off of this ride. And then came the reunion. And the reunion was when I said, I'm out. The reunion was when I personally said, I got to go. Let's listen to what Tyler said at the reunion. Oh, mm, should I preview it? Or let's listen to what Tyler said about the situation that I have not explicitly laid out. We'll get into it.
Did not sign up for this. To get into the story, I did help a friend, and her wife start a family, but her wife ended up leaving her and left her high and dry. This was my very close friend. So I stepped in, voluntarily stepped in and helped. So there is pictures of me around. You'll see me around. I've spent holidays with all my friends, all their kids. And I played a part that became very shaky with a friend. And there's no rule books to this. There's no set lines to this. But I do want to let people know Ashley knows all this. This is news to the world. This has never been news to.
So that was audio from Tyler speaking the few words that he actually spoke at the reunion. And the top portion of this graphic is a Facebook post from the grandmother of Tyler's children. During the course of the show, we found out, along with Ashley, that while Tyler was promising Ashley the world and going to sweep her off of her feet, that he had in reality fathered 3 children. Now, on the show, he said that he did not have any relational ties with the children, that he was merely a sperm donor. The grandmother of the grandkids said, Sperm who? Donor, huh? And posted a variety of images of Tyler deep in co parent mode. We also on the bottom have Sears family photo of Tyler and the mother of his oldest child posed, matching white polos. It's not giving sperm donor. It's not. Let's listen to the mother of the children explain a little bit of the situation.
From Tyler, and he asked me if I would be okay with him being a father to Cairo, because he did not want Cairo to be raised by a single mother as he had. A deep discussion about what that would mean for him to be stepping up as a father to Cairo and what it would look like as far as financial responsibility, helping out, being an active parent in his life, being present. And after much thought and consideration, I agreed. Since that moment, Tyler has been considered to be and has acted as a father to Cairo. Unlike Cairo, the twins were simply unplanned, and Kamari are the results of natural, unplanned intercourse with absolutely no complexity surrounding parentage. Tyler was there with me the entire way, extremely supportive. We went to doctor's appointments together. We even were living together. He was there throughout my entire pregnancy, at the time of the delivery, and throughout my entire stay in the hospital after birth. He signed the birth certificates. He cut the umbilical cord.
Okay. None of that is giving sperm donor. That is Bree, the mother of Tyler's three biological children. Now, because I'm messy and nosy, I've actually read a lot about how lesbian couples, particularly non-white lesbian couples who don't necessarily have the money to go the traditional sperm bank and legal route, they do this kind of informal sperm donation thing. That is not what this was. Sperm donors do not sign birth certificates. Sperm donors are not all up in the videos, all up in the pictures, rough housing, wearing matching Christmas pajamas. That is not what that was. Tyler consented to legal parentage of those children. That has been clear. And for me, with Ashley, where my empathy runs out is when you have all of this, and you're lashing out at us because we say, hey, there's actually kids. Those kids are missing their dad. It's Christmas time. Do you know where your children are? At any rate, let's get into some more. Are you insane? Are you insane? Just obvious, blatant lies. And the thing that pissed me off so bad after I had paused the show to see what was going on with these people because I knew I was already invested in Ashley was seeing Tyler before the big reveal kind of trying to lay the foundation for this reveal. When he said he had no contact with the kids, that they didn't know what he looked like, that he had no contact with the mother, when that is blatantly false. But during the show, he'd be like, oh, I want to have kids immediately. I want to have kids ASAP because you already have kids. You're already a pappy. That's why you're saying that after I've known you for 48 hours. Well, been with you in Cabo for 48 hours. Shout out to the Viceroy, though I will never go there again. But here is where I said, oh, this lady, bad seed.
children.
I will say she wrote me on Instagram and apologized to me and Tyler and said she's praying for us and she didn't never meant for it to go this way. And she's sure my world is crazy right now. She never intentionally meant to cause me any pain. Like she won't say too much in this message, but yeah.
So before he went in and filmed Love is Blind, he had cut ties with her.
100%.
I didn't realize that.
He had a conversation with her. He's like, this is your family and this is what I originally signed up for. I know I stepped in to try to help. I know I said I'd be there for the twins. You were by yourself, twins made it worse. But he's like, I just don't want to have any connection with you or them because if I talk to you, although you've been my long-term friend, there's no way I wouldn't be able to not talk to the kids. And I think it's best if I remove myself.
Did she only want him involved once her ex-wife left?
She wanted him in a bigger capacity once she left. I'll say that because now she's by herself, which sucks. And now she's engaged with a whole nother woman.
Who do you think put it out for the world to see?
The grandma. She came up with a whole TikTok of all the pictures of Tyler. And the grandma is like, I'll say it this way. You'll never see pictures of her daughter with her wife or with her LGBTQIA partner ever. So that's where the dad t-shirts and dad's son come at play. And this is what I've seen firsthand. I think that's why the sperm donor mom reached out to me and apologized because I think she's in an uncomfortable situation of feeling like people are adding pressure on her to be this person that I don't think she is.
Disgusting work. I turned up the volume, so hopefully you can hear me better. Disgusting work. Despicable work. There's Delulu. Look, everybody has a right to be in a little Delulu. Everybody has a right to some crazy justifications, some half-truths to just make it through the day. I've said before that being in a bad relationship, the relationship that I was in before this one, really made me much more sympathetic to the stuff that women put up with. But there's children, first of all. Secondly, why are you on the couch with Nick at the Biophiles and not the pappy? Where is Tyler? Hashtag, where is Tyler? I know that he was on Dear Future Wifey, which, by the way, I was watching actually a couple Dear Future Wifey videos with that Lateris. I like Lateris, but Lateris, you're bullshitting us. Lateris, why you ain't had no wife? Lateris. Now, I've been in a relationship for 2 years. Lateris, I'm sorry. I've been in a full-on super hetero, super monogamous wedding conversation relationship. Because I don't really care about that, but you gotta entertain the wedding conversation. Marriage conversation for 2 years. Why you have no girlfriend, Lateris? Why you have no wife? I am sorry. That's suspicious to me. This is an aside. I am sorry. I'm sorry. That man ain't looking for no wife. Lateris, you just need to be honest. You need to be honest with these people. Anyways, I'm back to this. Tyler did appear on Dear Future Wifey, where he was. I see why he stays in the back. I see why he stays in the back. Having this lady out here saying all of this like this is so embarrassing. And I think a part of being a good partner is trying to protect your partner from unnecessary shame and embarrassment whenever you can. Certainly, Tyler, if he has any sense or wits about him, understands how horrible it looks for Ashley, the stepmother, the woman who has no ties to anybody in this situation, to constantly be on defense. It makes her look crazy. It turns her into the villain, when in reality, the person who really has the most explaining to do is where? Doing what? But Ashley, you're not off the hook. You are entitled to your Delulu. Do what you need to do. Even though I think this is ridiculous, you could get somebody else. And by the way, this is why I say all the time, it's not about what you can get, it's about what you accept. Whose table are you sitting down at? Because you don't have to sit down at every table. You could do so much better than this man. The freaking military benefits are not worth it. He has 3 children. He has blatantly lied. Lied. And now you are participating in reiterating the lies and spreading the lies for a deadbeat. We've got to get some dignity. We've got to get some morals. We've got to get some self respect because this is not it. I think that once children are in it, your first and primary duty is to protect those freaking kids. Protect the freaking children. I have no respect for people who drag children into mess. Not only are those children very, very young, missing their father figure, the man who we see from all of those images, from all of the media, played an active role in partnering and fathering and parentage for whoever knows how many years. Now they are going to have to relive that trauma over and over again. We know 0 to 5 are the most important years for cognitive and emotional development for children. You have contributed to childhood abandonment trauma. You have contributed to creating more little kids out into the world, question mark, missing their kid, missing their daddy during the holiday season. Why? Why would you do that? We want men to shame their deadbeat friends. We say to the men, if you are hanging out with a deadbeat, stop hanging out with him. Why is that your friend? You are the company you keep. I am not making any excuses for a single woman who seems to generally have her head on straight, who has no ties here other than being on a Netflix show. No excuses. To my mind, abandoning your children in such a public and humiliating fashion is the worst thing that you can do. Besides rape and murder, that is the worst thing that you can do. Horrible. So she has repeated these insane lies. She's trying to launder the lies and said things that I'm not even, with regard to the back and forth with Brie, I don't even think that that's true. Let's say that Brie did DM Ashley. Whatever Ashley relayed is not Brie recanting her public statements. It's not Brie saying, "Oh, I actually lied. He was just a sperm donor." That's not what Ashley said that Brie said. She was just saying, "Oh, hey, sorry if you are harmed in this," which to me just sounds like empathy. That's not a, "Oh, my bad. I lied." No. So what's going on here? She continued to say things that did not make sense.
The TikTok things about Tyler and the fact that you don't know that he had a secret family, which I think you speak on very well at the reunion. But if you want to just clear up now that you weren't left in the dark and that you knew about this situation.
Yeah, so for me too, it's like the first week when everyone was on the Tyler and Ashley train, which we still do have a lot of people on our train. There are a lot of people who do know there are two sides to a story. There are a lot of people who do know that not everything is black and white, and especially when it comes to donating your genetics to a friend and or to a family member. But I did feel like this is something that I needed to disclose to kind of like shut it down. So yes, I knew. And he was like, you guys called me intelligent and like poised and all these things, but now I'm blind. I mean, love is blind, but I'm not blind.
Not that
like,
blind.
Yeah, not that blind. Let's be clear. And of course, I did a background on this man when I first met him. Like, you know, like right when I got my phone back at Arlington, I hit up my godbrother and we literally did a deep dive. That's what I do. My friends call me to investigate everything. I'm better than any fake ass TikTok journalists out there. Like, you can't tell me anything I don't know. Now, had I seen
all of the pictures. No. Once I got a full view of what I needed to, and I spoke to his friends and spoke to his family, that's what I needed for my own personal reassurance. And from there, it was a come what may mindset of like, whatever comes after we're married, it's hand in hand. And I'm choosing you and I'm choosing all of you because we all come with shit, right? And I just think with Tyler, that the misconception here is that it's been a character assassination. It's like, okay, if you don't agree, humans have a hard time digesting anything that's taboo or out of their norm, or understanding anything that doesn't look like the picture that they want it to look like, rather that's who you love or your religion or your looks. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what I did not talk about? Her weaponizing queerness. Straight women, cishet women are so embarrassing. We're so embarrassing. It is so fucking embarrassing. I don't know what Bree's relationship is to the grandma, but the grandma certainly didn't had no problems posting Bree up and the kids and stuff. But also, that's none of your fucking business if the grandma is homophobic. That is not the conversation we're having right now. The conversation is, did this man say that he was going to be a father to these children? Did he show up as a father to these children for years? And has he subsequently abandoned them to be on a popular TV show? That is the question. Yes or no? Check yes or no. And then to keep reiterating these things about, families look different. Yes, families do look different. Okay? Yeah, families do look different. Harvey Milk, okay? But that's not what this is. Stop laundering the bullshit. Beautiful girl. Incredibly well spoken. I understand why they are strategizing in the back and pushing her to the front. If I were stupid, I might be convinced. You're not going to convince me that you did a background check on this man. Another ridiculous lie. Are you an actress? You need a Tony. You need to be up with Ariana Grande at the Oscars. You're going to the Golden Globes. No, absolutely not. That is not what happened. But again, that kind of lie to preserve yourself, okay. Look, you know. It's the repeating the lies about the relationship with the children in order to justify a man abandoning his children. Moreover, then the stuff comes out about him being tens of thousands of dollars in debt in child support. Why is there a child support order? Allegedly. If there's no legal parentage, if there's no ties, where's the debt coming from? And I did see you in the chat talking about, and then look at his employment history. I didn't even want to get on that because I'm trying to let go of classism in the new year. But that employment history, 3 biological children, 2 of whom you've signed the birth certificate for, so you are on the hook. It's a no. It's a no. Baby, they're garnishing your checks. Thank you, Chanel. Yeah. Don't try to make this into you're a freedom fighter for the queer community. That is not the case. Now, if you listen to Bree's ex-wife and all of that, there's a there's a lot of stuff. All of y'all are messy. I'm sorry. People who go into the military, they need to do some more psych evals in the military because the military people are not doing great mentally. Psychologically, the military people is not it's not good. It's not. They talk more about this DM, and they also talk about how Tyler abandoned the children another time before this. So this is the second time Tyler has abandoned his children. I assume that you're talking about the conversation that Jessie Wu had with the kind of mess TikToker Ricky. I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I have been outraged about this for weeks. I thought we would just love her through it and she would come out of it. Come out of lesbianism. I was talking about that because I'm gonna go see Ty Tribbett tonight. You know, at the end of I Got the Victory, he says, "Come out of lesbianism." He apologized for that. Okay, we come out of heterosexuality. Ty Tribbett was dead fucking wrong for that, but he said, "Oh my bad, I shouldn't have said that." So I forget. Well, I can't forgive him because I'm not queer, but he did apologize. Woman, thou art loosed. It doesn't have to be like this. Now you're just telling dumb lies. Ridiculous lies for no reason. I wanted to end this by saying that it is clear to me that a woman as beautiful as Ashley, as poised and thoughtful and smart and well spoken as Ashley, having to settle for a bum like Tyler reflects some larger phenomena. And when I learned about this, I was like, Netflix, count your fucking days. I hate this fucking show. I'm never watching this show again. I hate all of this. But then I had to take a step back and say that the trauma that we see inflicted on Black women on these reality TV shows reflects the trauma that Black women are enduring in their romantic lives in real life. The trauma, the poor decision making, the delusions, the obvious lies, misrepresentations, ridiculous justifications, that is real life. And if we're going to be really, really honest, it's probably like a lot worse. Who here has been on a date with a married man? Me, unbeknownst to me. It's lies, it's cheating, it's felonies. It's all out there. It's all out there. People who look great on paper, absolutely fucking crazy, secret kids, secret relationships. You know, that's the thing. Oh, you just have to choose better. Choose whom? The Ivy Leaguers are doing it. The University of Chicago grads are doing it. The Georgetown grads are doing it. I've never been on a date with somebody who went to Stanford. Not undergrad, but everybody's doing it. Patriarchy spares no one. So this is a reflection of the marriage market. I did promise myself that I would not do any mess if I didn't also do some fortification, offer y'all some intellectual stuff to kind of chew on.
I don't want no scrubs. This is a real study that was done through Cornell University that said a shortage of economically attractive men. There's not enough men who are economically attractive. That may be one of the reasons why marriage is on the decline. Now, marriage is at its lowest in about 150 years in America, the marriage rate. Now, what do they mean by economically unattractive? They said it's somebody who either doesn't have a bachelor's degree, so that's prospects, or a stable job making $40,000 a year or more. They said one reason might be education. The lead author said, this is a rough quote, many young men today have little to bring to the marriage bargain. And he talked about how women are going to school more because they want to, bring more to the table to get better jobs. I'll say this. This is your sort of piece of money advice. And this doesn't just come from me. It comes from Warren Buffett. He says that the biggest, most powerful choice you will ever make in your life.
Okay, as I mentioned, I've decided that because I sometimes feel guilty about coming to y'all with mess, I am trying to bring in additional sources to contextualize the mess that we are witnessing. And the mess that we are witnessing here and throughout all of these reality shows is it's about a dating and marriage market that is fundamentally broken for Black women and particularly for educated women, not just educated Black women. We see it again and again. And this is one of the reasons why I have decided to retire from the gender wars because the conversations are um, underwhelming. They are not stimulating. They are boring to me now, but they're also just factually wrong. They're incorrect. The gender war stuff is fun as long as you view it as entertainment and keep in mind that the questions that undergird why are so many women with degrees, high earning women, Black women single, those questions have been asked and answered repeatedly for decades. Asked and answered, laid out, analyzed, researched. There is no question. This is a numbers problem. This is a math problem. Black women have been dealing with a math problem for decades. William Julius Wilson articulated this in 1987. He called it the marriageable men thesis. He articulated that we have seen a precipitous decline in the marriage rate. He's a sociologist, former Harvard professor. The decline in the marriage rate can be um, is inextricably linked to the decline of well-paying jobs that offer financial stability. So between the 60s and the 80s, deindustrialization that hit Black communities the hardest is what precipitated the decline in the marriage rate. Now, it took the rest of the United States a little bit of time to catch up, but that thing that was particularly pernicious in Black America 40 years ago and moving forward, we're now seeing the full effects of it among white women and everybody else. And that is why we are now having more conversation about what's wrong with men, what's wrong with boys. We got to help the boys. For decades and decades, that discussion about why are there so many unmarried Black women? Why do Black women only want to be baby mamas? Is it because of the culture? You guys aren't feminine enough. You guys don't value relationships like your grandmothers. You guys are too independent. You're too. No, this is a math problem. And any conversation about partnership that does not acknowledge that this is a math problem, and that researcher after researcher from Lichter et al., Wilson, we have demographers like Philip Cohen talks about the marriage markets. They have laid out this is a numbers issue. Now, what's interesting is that for decades, Black women have been berated. You don't deserve marriage. If you would just behave differently, choose different majors, go to different schools, make different choices, then you would deserve marriage, deserve partnership, deserve a loving partner, deserve stability. And it was our fault. But you see how the conversation changes when that shit caught up to white women. Once that shit caught up to white women, now that we have white women crying in their cars about not going on dates, crying on Jubilee about not wanting to be a girl boss anymore. Jubilee is the YouTube channel. The conversation is, oh, it's not the girls. No, we want the girls to be ambitious, right? When you hear Richard Reeves, for example, talk about this problem, the marriage market problem, they always say we want the girls to be ambitious. When you hear a white man like Scott Galloway talk about the marriage market problem that is fucking women over, they say, no, no, no. Ambitious women? are the shit. They are the prize. They bring so much to your life. And I'm going to be honest, I do feel a little bit of resentment as the second generation of Black women who have endured all of these discussions about, no, it's Black women, it's not the men. And then all of a sudden, the marriage rate declines precipitously for non-Black women, and the out of wedlock birth rate skyrockets for non-Black women. And it's, oh my God, there is a crisis among men and boys. The girls are doing what they're supposed to do. The crisis is with boys. But at any rate, I could spend my time being annoyed that we spent decades. I'm the second generation of Black woman, a Black woman who have at least a bachelor's degree, who's had to sit through these conversations about, y'all think y'all too good. Y'all think y'all too good to date an electrician. And now it's like the white women and the white women are like, no, we're not going to do that. And it's totally accepted. And then when you're like, hey, maybe standards are overrated, like Ashley, then you're out here looking crazy. Because she's out here looking fucking nuts. But I understand what precipitates that ridiculous behavior. I understand what catalyzes this environment where we have a lot of women who are very competent and self-possessed in one arena, looking fucking crazy in the romantic arena. I get it. Spent a lot of time thinking about it, spoken to experts about it, read up on it. I get it. It's not you, it's the pool. It's not you, it's the pool. It's not you, it's the pool. Anyways, here is a summary of mismatches in the marriage market. This study highlights the unmarried women in the US face significant shortages of, quote, economically attractive men to marry compared to potential partners. The, quote, ideal husbands are more likely to have higher income, stable employment, and college degrees. Black women in particular face notable shortages due to socioeconomic disparities. The findings suggest that shifts in education, income, and employment have made it harder for women to find suitable marital matches, pushing many to remain single or, quote, settle for less ideal partners. Lichter, by the way, has been studying this for decades. It's not you, it's the pool. And I am never, ever, ever again going to seriously entertain any conversation that doesn't acknowledge the problem is the pool. Real scholars have said the problem is the pool. If you are starting anywhere else but there, I'm Stevie Wonder to it. I don't see it. I'm not acknowledging it. I don't recognize it. Because you're wrong. They're wrong. And it's fun. It's fun to watch. I'll be watching those Pop the Balloon clips. Now, Pop the Balloon is the only one of them that I'm like, okay, all right. But everything else, mm-mm. Mm-mm. The rest of that stuff, and the thing is, it's just so repetitive. It's the same conversation over and over again. No new sources, no new data, no new talking points for decades, It ends here. It ends with us. We don't want another generation of girls to have to hear the shit. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Ooh, I'm supposed to go to a concert. Wait, but last thing. Now, somebody did send me this not too long ago, and I never got a chance to go over it. This is from The Knot. Where do most people meet their spouse? Here's what our data says. So, this is theknot.com, the wedding registry and planning website. And they did a survey, captured responses from 9,318 US couples married between January 1 and December 31, 2023. Respondents were recruited via email invitation from The Knot and or Wedding Wire. Okay, and this is what they found. Where do people meet their spouse? Hinge. 35% of people meet their partners on Hinge. Whoa. When I was dating, Hinge was not, I don't know if I went on any dates from Hinge. I don't think I remember that. Okay. Mutual friends. Oh, 25% of couples, meanwhile, found success with Tinder. Rounding out the top 3 apps was Bumble, with 20% of to-be-weds finding a partner through the female-founded entrepreneurial brand. Hinge, Tinder, Bumble. Okay, 15% of couples met via close friends, mutual friends. Okay. 15% of our married couples surveyed stated that they met their partner through school, be it college, grad school, or further professional studies. 15%. Meanwhile, another significant slice of the chart shows couples citing work as their meeting ground. 10% said they met through work. That means that a collective 25% of all married couples surveyed actually found their future partners while they were just going out about their day-to-day lives. Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, mutual friends, school, grad school. I'm trying to do it from memory. Work, and then out and about. Those are the ways that people meet. It's not you. The problem is the pool. Remember, that's going to be merch. The problem is the pool. So consume all of that gender war shit, like the inane, brainless content that it is, with the fake researchers and the Wikipedia scholars. But the real scholars have told us for literally decades, the problem is the pool. The people who don't cite blackdemographics.com have told us it's the pool. So have your fun with the gender war shit. It's like Sally Jesse Raphael. Ooh, I'm old. It's Jerry Springer. It's Ricky Lake. Get your dopamine activated. But don't internalize that shit. Because we know exactly what the problem is. The black girls know it. The white girls know it. It's the pool. I have to go, you guys. I will see you guys later. I just had to get that off my chest. It's a whole bunch of struggling men, and it's a whole bunch of women who are going to, if you desire to be partnered, get with struggling men. And that used to be the black women's specialty, and it still kind of is. But increasingly, we are seeing in the United States, and actually across a number of the OECD countries, where the proportion of educated women in their countries has skyrocketed. We're seeing the normalization of hypogamy, meaning educational hypogamy. Women who have college degrees, or women who make more money dating men who earn less or who don't have college degrees. It's a whole thing. And that's why we're facing population collapse. That's why those marriage rates are getting lower and lower. All right. I gotta put on some pants and skedaddle. I gotta skedaddle. Bye.